young parent filed a lawsuit against the Christian public school system. We also are preparing, and incidentally, the school should have, or was supposed to have answered that brief today.
Excuse me, Mr. Jewell. Are you reporting on the work of the group that you are representing, or are you further clarifying what the branch's position is?
I'm further clarifying.
What the branch's position is?
Yes. If I may.
I'm not. I think what I've stated so far captures the branch's position.
But I'm not questioning the branch's position. I'm offering to this body how important the branch's position is, because beyond the lawsuit, we are filing a complaint with the Office of Civil Rights with the U.S. Department of Education. That resolution would be very, very helpful to us.
And that is why the branch is in the process.
And that is why I wanted to put it on the floor to the rest of the body, how important it is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I just have a question. Hasn't that, not the school board approved that, that issue about the schools being closed?
Yes, the school board did decide, yes.
Yes.
But that's
So what we're doing, we're just stating our position as to what has happened.
yes.
Okay.
And it's a position that we've stated all along, so not just at the closing of the decision, but during the process,
Okay.
we were stating positions that we are just formalizing in a formal resolution.
Okay.
Madam Chair, do we have any copies of the resolutions here?
No, but what the president did was to send each of the members of the executive committee copies, and so I did not make copies for the members to review today.
And it should be here for the membership.
Or perhaps someone from the committee could have brought their copy for us to review.
Well, you're the president, so I couldn't.
Yes, I am the president, and there is a lot on the president's plate, and so.
More information, should there be an executive committee before across the line to debate the merits of the issue and whether it's worthwhile?
We're not here to debate the merits of the issue. I was here to report on the work of the education. Are there any questions about the work of the education committee? There being none, I move that my report be received as given. As the interim, as the person acting as the education chair.
Second.
Second as well.
Thank you. We'll hear next from our Economic Development Committee, Mr. Dominic Ferraro.
Good evening. Good evening. My report is going to be for information only. I do not have a physical report. My report is not too much different from our last executive committee meeting. We'll have a copy of this report at the next branch meeting and at the next executive committee meeting. First of all, of course, we attended the Freedom Front Gala. Again, I want to commend Ms. Pamela Barrett on a successful event. On Saturday, September 21st, my committee hosted an information table at the Urban League Road to Homeownership Fair that was held at the Richmond Library, where we obtained 3 new paid memberships. So I have that to turn in. I have 3 checks there. We got 3 new members who paid on the spot. We are continue to develop the branch's radio show. I encourage everyone to listen in to the show every Thursday, 14:50 a.m. And you also can listen online at WCLMradioonline.com. Up next for my committee, we look forward to working side by side with the Political Action Committee to gear up our community for the upcoming November election. I ask that we accept my report.
I have a question. What time is the radio show on Thursday?
5 o'clock.
Okay, 5.
Yes, every Thursday at 5. Oh, that was your question too. I'm sorry. So, Again, WCLM 1450, every Thursday, 5 p.m. I encourage everyone to participate in the show, call in, listen in. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Furlong, could I see those memberships on people's memberships?
Yes, I'm going to get them right to you.
First, they need to be turned in. They need to be turned in first before we get, and then we'll get that information as well.
I want to information. Can I ask my question? What initiatives is the Economic Development Committee working on for the benefit of the community? I understand home ownership, but what targeted initiatives for the community do we have proposed?
Well, one of them is to do more far as encouraging entrepreneurship. I was scheduled today to also take a tour and I missed it. I am tied up. We just coming off the March on Richmond. And a lot of our work and our efforts have went into the March on Richmond. Ever since the March, my committee having held a committee meeting. If I will get your email after this meeting, I will keep you informed on my next committee meeting. But we're working on the home ownership and we're trying to do more to encourage entrepreneurship. Again, I was speaking against the about the tour I was supposed to take with members of the school board meeting today, school board members today at the Richmond Tech Center. To try to encourage vocational education within our school system for our kids. Anything else? I asked.
Yes.
This is a point of information, and I should have asked that when you gave your education report. And not that I want to be, a chair of that committee, but I would like to be a member of that committee. So who do I talk to about that?
Just make sure that I get your information to put you on the email distribution list so that you should be informed of the next meeting when it's called.
Okay.
Oh, no one. I'm just still waiting for my report to be accepted. All right, thank you.
Question? Yes, Mr.
He's a
Jewell?
woody
Yes,
thing. I can tell when you
I've
came
been
in
meeting
to it
to
in.
meet with Mr. Furlong.
He's a woody fan. I
Shut
can
it
tell
down
when he
if
looks
you
you up
think
and
this is
down.
not the right time to do this. We've got 26% poverty rate in the city and rising. Everybody agrees that there are two very real things you can do to mitigate poverty. One is a decent job, the other is a decent education. Can anybody in this room tell me where you would send someone who's looking for employment in Richmond City?
And if I may, that's one of the reasons why we have been having meetings with James Manuel for the workforce development.
He was here a couple of months ago, the man is a joke. He was supposed to have set up an employment service and social services in January of this year.
Thank you for the information.
It has not been, I'm not done. It has
That's
not been
right.
done, and here we are looking at October. This is for the hard to employ, y'all. And these are ex-offenders, welfare mothers, as well as people with poor workers. Those people are hurting out.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
It's hugely important. The second thing is, there's a secret out here that I dare say very few of us in this room know anything about. And at the end of 2014, as we speak, there's a widening of the Panama Canal going on. It's widening to accommodate mega-sized ships coming from China into the Atlantic Ocean up the eastern seaboard.
Come
There are
on.
only 2 ports deep enough to accommodate these mega-sized ships.
Yes,
Come on.
Mr. Jewell.
One is Baltimore and the other is the Port of Hampton Roads.
Come on.
There's not enough space in Hampton Roads to repackage the cargo to fit on trucks and trains.
Mr. Jewell, I'm having a hard time.
Let me finish it.
Do you
Do
need to make a point? Do you need to make a recommendation? Would you like to
I'm
work?
trying
with the
to
Economic
finish
Development
a
Committee?
sentence without being interrupted. Can I finish without being
Mr. Jewell, we
interrupted?
have an time for committee
Well,
reports.
this is also important, we got an election coming up, ma'am, and we need to put in front of these candidates our need for employment and economic opportunities.
Maybe we'll hear from our
we
municipal
have-
action committee.
Right. If I can extend the invitation right now, two things. We have a petition that's going around where we are asking the city of Richmond and public officials to do more. I don't know how many of you all have saw the petition or even signed that petition, but we do have a current petition, and I would like to extend the invitation to you to join my committee where we can work together.
I'll get with that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. The next committee that we'll hear from is our health committee. Ms. Campbell.
Make sure you see me.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to just welcome some of the new faces that are here tonight. I see quite a few, and I want to keep my report brief, mainly because we are coming off the summer, and the Health Committee had prior let you know that we were working on a resource directory, and we also had filled out paperwork in regard of a potential grant that is directed toward the health department. And we're to hear from that later, I hope this month or next month, whether NAACP did receive it. So some of the things that are going on right now is we are meeting with some community representatives as a preliminary aspect to forming partnerships or seeing what is available to work on as a unit in a community. Recently, I met with Ms. Johnson, the Sickle Cell Anemia Awareness Program. That organization received $3.2 million last December and to put in place a program under Dr. Wally Smith, in which raised the awareness of sickle cell. They have developed a drug, hydroxyurea, which is supposed to help those persons with sickle cell to be able to have more of a quality of life. And one of the things they're doing is hiring patient navigators. And I think some of you may remember when a young lady was here as a patient navigator. They're hiring more now. That's what that funding money is for. And part of that would be to go into the communities, try to partner with organizations to help with the study that it will take place at the ambulatory facility at MCV, in which people who have problems and may need assistance, whether it's social, service-wise, as well as their condition, they can go to that segment. And the patient navigator's job is to really put the word out and then assist those that are identified with a crisis. Some people may not recognize that they have the sickle cell trait. It is in three various aspects. One that's very serious, always at the hospital, pain, can't work, hold steady job. Another may have the trait, does not exemplify any symptoms, and then another in and out. And a drug has been created to help that. I'm just giving you a short version of that particular organization that we are working with and trying to see how we can come together. Another thing that in October, Cassandra Shaw and I plan to be at the Jackson Award Festival set up, material, and we are hoping that other committees can work with us so we can talk with you later. I just want to share this in brief because I have a written report that was less information than I'm giving now, but for brevity, I just want you to know that our job as the health committee is to advocate for the African American community in education and fighting disparity. So if there's something you need to share with this committee, please do. If there's a concern, let's talk afterwards, and that's something that we may be able to work on. And I ask that you accept my report for information. No question?
I have some information to give. I'm a member of the health committee. Tonight, the National NAACP Health Committee is having a webinar, and it's going to be on the healthcare law 101.
Yes.
Do you also think it's possible that the NAACP committee could host a affordable health care program, for Obamacare that's going into effect in October, to bring the community out, to educate them more on that marketplace, the way that that's going to be set up. All information they get is from the news, which is very negative. So, maybe the health committee could spearhead a workshop or, just something to educate the community on that process. It's really a good process, and maybe we can be the ones that they ask questions, or, we be educated on that just to,
Yes.
something like that.
At an earlier meeting, I mentioned that I attended that session with Bobby Scott, and I got the contact names and the information. What we're finding out is that everybody's situation may be different. So there is a 1-800 number, and there are things that that person may need to explain. But yes, I take that seriously in terms of a suggestion, and I thank you. One of the things that's coming, there will be a meeting with the sickle cell anemia representative. We're scheduling something, so I'm scheduling around that to see where this could fit at a later time, because we have that information, and I know Walter Johnson is working closely with Bobby Scott in that aspect. So between the community information, I will be sure to bring something back and see how we can possibly set us up. The other thing I want to mention that the health committee does plan to have representation on the radio at a scheduled time. So we're just giving a report later as to the more specific details.
Just in addition to that, I did attend a seminar, and I have that information I can give it to you. It's actually a panel of individuals that's out here educating the community. And you can ask some questions. They're actually going to be setting up, where people can come in and basically get on the computers to show you how to market. It's a marketplace to show you how to, and they can ask questions, because you're right. Do not have to be eligible for all of the different categories and so forth. But I just think it would be really good if we was hoping something like that for our community.
Well, I will be speaking with you later so that we can better fit that. I ask that this report be accepted.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Next, we'll hear from our Housing Committee, Ms. Lily Estes.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Please excuse my not having a written report this evening, but I have a verbal one for you.
Just before you begin, I arrived late, and so one, I didn't have a chance to welcome everybody, but then more importantly, or just as importantly, is anyone taking notes?
I got it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, Executive Committee report, I submitted the MOA with reframe, which is an acronym for Residents of Public Housing in Richmond Against Mass Eviction, for the branch to reconsider renewing the MOA that had been in effect up until October 2012. Currently, we are reviewing individually the resolutions that were ratified from the National NAACP from 2004 to 2010 or 12, which consists of a support for public housing resolution that was submitted by the Richmond Branch Housing Committee in 2008 and ratified, a mortgage foreclosure and predatory lending resolution ratified by the National NAACP, and but anyway, all of them dealing with real estate issues and housing and how to be more supportive with all of the redevelopment that's going on in the city of Richmond. It's taking a minute to really digest this information, and we're looking forward to putting on a workshop for the branch membership, which will enlighten the branch membership about the intricate pieces of the federal property that public housing sits on and its impact in the city in terms of redevelopment. Reframe will have their community forum, which will be the 6th annual one on October the 24th at Greater Mount Moriah Church. And we welcome anyone in the membership to still join the housing committee